Hey, it's another week, another episode. Hey, Lindsey.
Hey, Bart.
How's your week going?
It's going really well. Busy as usual, but good. Everything's been good. Been looking forward to this for sure.
Me too. The guest and the movie, a great combo.
Oh my God.
Are you ready to do this?
I am so ready to die laughing.
Then let's do it. Another episode of Die Laughing. And welcome back. Hey, Lindsey.
Hey, Bart.
How you doing?
I mean, there's nothing to complain about, right? We're happy. We're healthy.
Exactly. How about the movie we're looking at this week?
Oh my gosh. I can't. It's so good.
Had you seen it before?
No.
Oh, had you not?
No.
Ooh.
I know. I don't know why. I don't. I've seen bits and pieces of it. When I went back and watched it, I was like, oh, I probably saw more of this than I realized, but I had not seen the whole thing start to finish in one sitting.
I saw it in 2019, which, oh my God, I thought there was a typo when I saw it was made in 2019 because in my brain, it feels like it was 2 years ago it came out. But
oh, yeah.
Yeah, 6 years ago, I saw it. And I think I watched it again maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you share with the audience what our movie is this week? If I could do the roll R things, I'd give you a drum roll. But
like in Christmas Vacation.
I'm 100 years old. I can't do that.
This week's movie is none other than Jim Jarmusch's The Dead Don't Die.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes.
Very excited.
Yes.
Someone who I never thought would make a zombie movie made a zombie movie.
Right? Maybe because of Tilda? Maybe?
Maybe. It's such a Jim Jarmusch movie.
Right.
With zombies.
Right. 1,000% yes. It's so good. Yes.
So yeah, let's get moving on this thing. How about that?
Heck yeah, let's do it.
You want to bring on our guest this week?
Yes. So exciting.
Alrighty. So our guest this week, he is one of my oldest friends. And a little funny story. It's not really funny, but it's a story. He and I didn't realize until we were, I think, in our 30s that we had attended the same middle school in the same town at the same time and had a crush on the same girl.
That's a movie script right there, Bart Shannon. Why haven't you written that?
Well, yeah, because I'm lazy and weak. We can talk about that later. But yeah, how about that? We found that out and we just couldn't believe it.
And not even in the same city that you would then later meet.
No, not at all.
Right. So that's like the interesting part, right?
Yep.
This is a completely different city.
Yep. Completely different city. He moved around a lot. I think he was just there for a short time. He is just an amazing photographer.
Yes.
But he is also just an amazing artist as a person, as a soul. When I think of this guy, I think of a true artist to the core.
Yeah.
He has always made me want to be more artistic. And when
Yeah.
I'm around him, I feel I am at my most artistic.
This person, hands down, makes Memphis a better place.
Yep.
Hands down.
If you're from Memphis or in the South, you know him from his Amurica brand of photo booths and photography and holiday photos. But there's so much more there. But we can talk about all that with our guest this week, Mr. Jamie Harmon.
Hey.
Hey, Jamie.
How you doing?
Hi, Jamie.
Good to see you guys.
Welcome to the Die Laughing podcast.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, man. Thanks for reaching out and asking. Otherwise, it would have been a Sunday of sitting on the porch and ruminating over mistakes I made in the past.
You could still do that on the podcast.
This is a great distraction, though. It's hard to do that when you're distracted.
That's right.
You have a little reprieve from that, and then you can get back to beating yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say this? Amurica.com is the website.
That's a start. You know, websites are our parents' place to go and get information. Are they?
Oh, are they?
You start on social media and then you're like, you know what? I really want to know what's going on. And then you go to the website and you're like, oh, where's the about area? It's a cycle. But Amurica.com is fine. Like I said, it's a good place to start.
It's a good place for the old people to start.
It's a good place to start if you're bored on the toilet.
Duly noted. So had you seen this movie before?
It sounds like I saw it the way both of you kind of described it, where I saw it by accident years ago. I thought it was 2 years old but it turns out that it's 6. And because of this, I thought, okay, I'm going to sit down and just watch it tonight or last night. So I did. So it's fresh in my head. Yeah, I'm excited to talk a little about it.
I watched it twice. I watched it Friday and Saturday night.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Good.
Damn.
Normally I just watch it once, but there was something about this one that I wanted to go back and watch a second time.
So something we do, Jamie, is we'll watch the trailer. People at home will just have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Let's check out the trailer for Jim Jarmusch's 2019, The Dead Don't Die.
In this peaceful town, on these quiet streets, something terrifying, something horrifying is coming.
Excuse me, we're closed. Get away from me!
What the hell was it? A wild animal?
This is really awful. Maybe the worst thing I've ever seen.
What was it, wild animals?
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking zombies.
What?
You know, the undead. Ghouls.
You look gorgeous. Oh my. Are you in this together?
Flesh-eating zombies.
Don't joke, it's really, really creepy.
Oh, man. This isn't gonna end well. They gravitate towards things they did when they were alive.
Called beef.
Chardonnay.
Did she just say Chardonnay?
Yeah, she did.
1, 2, 3. Welcome to my world, zombies.
I've been telling you this is all gonna end badly.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm quite confident of my ability to defend myself against the undead.
I can see that.
Excuse me.
Those are some pretty good cuts. You played some minor league ball, didn't you?
Well, a little Class A. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, it brings you right in. You're like, I mean, you can't watch that trailer and not think to yourself, I have to watch that movie like immediately.
I remember the first time I saw it. I mean, it was like Bill Murray, Adam Driver.
Tilda Swinton.
Oh, yeah. If Tilda's in it, that's kind of what sold it for me was Tilda. I go back and forth between Brad Dourif and Tilda Swinton for who my favorite person to see on screen.
I'm a Kate fan. I'm a Kate Blanchett, Kate Winslet. I'm a Kate person.
All right, let's jump right into this.
Yes.
Right away, something is amiss in Centerville. The damn sun just won't go down.
Mm-hmm.
The radio only plays one station, and everybody's cell phones have died. This ain't normal. We start right away with the two main characters, Officer Cliff Robertson and Ronnie Peterson, played by Bill Murray and Adam Driver. So we see them right off the bat driving into the woods to check on someone who's been stealing chickens. And so they go in the woods and they see a recent fire and the skinned body of, it looked like a cat to me. It didn't look like a chicken.
It did not look like a chicken.
Yeah, I think it was a rabbit or a gopher or something like it was.
Yeah.
We kind of see the dynamic right away of Adam Driver and Bill Murray's characters. Adam Driver, just a few years removed from Star Wars, right?
Right.
He's captivating the whole time in this movie.
Oh, the whole time.
He's got the best lines in the whole movie.
He does. And he's such a scene stealer, but he doesn't even mean to be.
That was my first laugh in the show, actually. It was, he sees the skinned, I'm just going to say gopher because it's a funnier word. And he sees the skinned gopher and he just says, yuck.
Yuck. He says yuck throughout the entire movie. And the way he says it is so deliberate. He's just like, yuck. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, so that was the first one for me.
It's strange to see Bill Murray in a movie and him not be the funniest person, but you age out of being the funniest person. And he's the supporting character to Adam Driver's funny character.
Right, right.
Right away, we meet Hermit Bob, played by Tom Waits, who's been in many Jarmusch films.
Tom Waits.
And full beard and long hair. He's hiding in the woods. So apparently a local townsperson, Frank, has said that his chickens are missing. And so they're going looking for him. And they first, of course, assume the usual suspects and Hermit Bob. And he's hiding in the woods and he fires a warning shot over their heads. And you could tell Bill Murray's used to this type of behavior from Hermit Bob. So after this interaction, we're back in the squad car, and both Bill Murray's character and Adam Driver, which are Cliff and Ronnie, they notice that the sun hasn't gone down yet. And it's at the time of the day the sun should be down.
Yeah, it's like 8:20. Because the thing is that you don't know that. He says, is it already 8:20? And you automatically think AM, right?
Yep.
And then they start looking at their watch and like, yeah, it should be dark by now. And you're like, oh.
Something is definitely amiss. And then their police radio goes out. Bill Murray says, check your cell phone. Adam Driver's cell phone is dead. And the radio station, all they can pick up is one song, Sturgill Simpson's The Dead Don't Die, which immediately we find out something's going to be different because Bill Murray says, where have I heard this before?
Right.
And Adam Driver says, well, it's the theme song.
I mean, I had to absolutely pause it. I had to pause the film and I was dying laughing. And like 5 minutes later, Jackson and his girlfriend come in and I'm trying to explain to them what it was. And I'm like, right? And they were like, okay, Mom. I was like, that was hilarious.
Oh, the first time I watched it, that's what made me go sit up a little bit and go, oh, I'm going to like this. This is going to be good.
This is the kind of movie that we're in. I'm here for it. Also, did you notice that the radio station that they stopped at was 9:11 and the time was 11:11?
No, I did not.
Anyway.
Wow. It didn't have it as much as I wanted it to. You know,
yeah, I get it.
They kept it kind of very subtle.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later, but yeah, I have thoughts on the device itself and
oh, good. Ooh, I can't wait to hear
how it affects you as a viewer of a movie. So we've established that things are going to be a little different here. They're going to break the fourth wall occasionally. The next scene is at the diner, the local diner, and we meet Frank, played by Steve Buscemi, sporting his Make America White Again hat.
Sitting right next to Danny Glover.
It said, keep America white again, which I was perplexed by that. I'm like, that's not the proper sentence. What's going on? Like maybe they were saying he's an idiot, even more of an idiot than we think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also meet Danny Glover, who plays Hank Thompson.
Hank Thompson. Almost everybody has a first and last name in this film.
And a couple of characters have a play on their actual name.
Yes, they sure do.
Once I realized that, I was hoping everyone's name was, but it wasn't. Just a few got that special treatment.
A couple.
So yeah, we're at the diner. We get to meet Fern, who's the waitress at the diner.
Fern is Esther Ballant.
She's been in some other Jim Jarmusch films as well.
Yeah, well, she was in Stranger Than Paradise. Shadows and Fog.
Shadows and Fog, which is my least favorite Woody Allen film.
It's got to be, right? Everybody's. But hey, it's Woody Allen.
I knew early on that hat on Steve Buscemi's character was a guaranteed death scene to come.
1,000%.
But everybody did, so.
Yeah. The next scene, we go to the juvenile detention center where we meet these three kids that are watching television and realizing something is not quite right. You know, it was three kids. One of the characters, Geronimo, was fleshed out. The other two were never fleshed out. Probably the least fleshed out characters in the entire film.
Yeah. They kind of came out of nowhere, and I wondered if we needed it. It kind of threw me a little, these ventures into the scene with these kids, because I was like, it's the detention center, but they seem really smart, and what are we hiding from? They seem also really relaxed. Like, it felt like it was maybe in another movie.
They don't have an arc. We'll talk about that later, but they get introduced. We check back a couple of times, and they get out, and then we never see them again.
Oh, maybe they do live.
We never found out.
Because she said, I know a safe place, and then they ran off.
And then they're not in the end, you know, when Ronnie and Cliff are making that pass, and we'll get there. You don't see them there either.
Yeah, so it's these three characters, two female characters, and the one male, Geronimo. And Geronimo's really the only one that stuck with me. The other two could have been interchangeable. Not the actress's fault, something that just didn't get fleshed out. The next scene is at Bobby's Gas and Stuff?
Yes. God, I love Caleb Landry Jones. I just love him.
The facial tics at the beginning that he has, that's the character, right? He never had facial tics before, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's just extremely awkward. And very good at playing awkward, like futzing with the $20 bill and looking at it and still saying his lines, and his eyes are kind of all over the place, but it's very good.
He does a lot of interesting stuff between the words. So yeah, he runs this place, his gas station, but it's also a very kitschy comic book store and music shop and joke store. And I think later costumes, some kids buy just pretty much anything you want. And he's behind the counter, and right away we get, again, this is probably the second joke in the movie where it's like, oh, it's going to be this kind of movie where it's going to be absurd. RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan shows up delivering a package from his Woo PS truck.
I don't. That was another pause moment. I was like, I'm sorry, I need a minute. I need a minute to gather myself. Oh.
I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, what is going on?
Delivering from Woo PS.
Woo PS.
Girl, I died. I died.
Delivering wisdom and packages and gifts.
That's right.
And gifts.
And gifts.
He had my favorite line that was not a Adam Driver line, which was when he needs Bobby to sign for the package, he says, just give me your Herbie Hancock right here and I'll be on my way.
Leah laughed at that too. She was watching it with me and she was like,
yeah.
She just said it out loud again, like Herbie Hancock.
Obviously, my brain immediately went to Tommy Boy. Because that's a line from Tommy Boy. Anyway, they're talking about the presidents, and he was like, "Yeah, let me get your John Hancock right here." And he's like, "John Hancock, it's Herbie Hancock." So, I mean, that's the first thing I thought of was Tommy Boy.
That is a better laugh, actually.
Still brilliant.
Still brilliant.
And worth the callback. Let's just assume it was a RZA ad lib.
Yeah. Can we pause and jump into just a little bit of the dialogue that Dean and Bobby have when he leaves? Because you can tell something's going on with Bobby. He's worried about something because, well, Dean has given him some sort of newspaper that says, like, the end of the world is coming. The world is off its axis. And so Bobby is very concerned. He is nervous. And so Dean, apparently, our delivery man, dropping wisdom, something other than packages, right? And he says, Dean, give me some good news. And he says, the world is perfect. And then he says something else. What does he say?
Appreciate the details.
Appreciate the details.
But he also was really watching him as though he was in love with him.
I thought he was in love with him because that shot when he was loading the truck and he's watching him through the open door. I thought he had a crush on him.
When he asked him for the wisdom, I thought he was going to say, Dean, would you ever, want to go have dinner? But instead he asked him for wisdom. And the way he was looking at it was like, oh, he's in love with him. And Dean called him Frodo. He had a nickname for him, and he gave him a 1974 comic or something that he was like for his collection. So he gives him gifts regularly. And that's what I thought was happening.
Interesting. And both of you thought that.
Yeah, you didn't feel it?
No.
Oh, wow.
But it makes so much sense.
It does. In fact, I believed it until later when Selena Gomez shows up.
Yeah, because then he's fascinated with her. Maybe he's just kind of fascinated with all these people that enter his life.
Yeah, maybe small town. Just a small town boy.
Well, he wasn't fascinated with Austin Butler.
Well, no, he sure wasn't. Austin was a little bit of a dick to him, right?
Well, they both called him Frodo. He called him Frodo as well as Dean. There were two of the same nicknames that didn't know each other, and nobody else called him that. So where did that come from?
The other hipster calls him Bobby Baggins as well. So he's getting hit from all directions.
And then his delivery line of his Bobby Wiggins. It's like, he's so funny. Anyway, yeah, this is the moment where we realize that Dean is much more than a delivery guy, right? He's dropping some wisdom on us. To me, that's enough to make you kind of perk up and say, okay, this character is going to matter. I need to remember him.
But, you say that piece of wisdom that RZA dropped, said that these characters got depth and he's going to be around, but he wasn't.
I wanted a lot more of him.
His line of wisdom that he drops reminded me of a Key and Peele sketch from the past that I thought it was a little misplaced.
Which is so campy. I mean, there's so much weird stuff. And some of the acting, it was almost like they were, for sometimes, like, I'm not saying it was bad, but because it fit what he was doing, was almost like, is this just like a dress rehearsal? At times.
Yeah.
It's like, is this a dress rehearsal? We're just going to do it. This doesn't really count, guys. So just relax and, and.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a line later that I was not going to talk about because I have my own personal feelings about it. But It's when Bill Murray says, I should have retired 2 years ago. And Adam Driver says, I know. Why didn't you retire? And Bill Murray says, are we improvising here? And I was a little confused because there was a part of me that was thinking that was like, I love Bill Murray.
Yeah, but he's notorious.
He's notorious for being difficult, which I don't like to hear those stories because I like to live in a state of denial about certain things. And so my first thought was, that's Bill Murray being difficult because Adam Driver didn't deliver the line on the script. Could be wrong, but
yeah,
I was like,
did they cut right after that?
No, they kept going, which makes me think maybe it was deliberate.
Now I want to go back and watch it again and just watch Adam Driver's reaction to it.
Yeah, I looked. He's unfazed.
I think everybody in Hollywood is sort of unfazed by Bill Murray at this point. They would kind of have to be, right?
Yeah, I know.
I'd still do a movie with him any day. Are you kidding me?
I'd drive him around. A grown man. I would drive him around.
All righty. The first play on an actual name is one of the newscasters, and the newscaster throughout the entire movie. Rosie Perez plays a newscaster, Posey Juarez.
I know. Right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
The next scene, we're at Frank's house, Steve Buscemi, in his racist home, and the animals are acting strange. Right away, he's looking for his dog, Rumsfeld.
Rumsfeld, I died. Rumsfeld. Can we also talk about what was all over his house? Taxidermy fucking galore. Like there was a huge bear like over his couch and there were fucking guns everywhere. I mean, this guy, what the fuck? Farmer Frank.
Yeah, Farmer Frank. He finds Rumsfeld. He's outside and Rumsfeld runs away from him. And then he notices his cows are gone. And then he notices his chickens are gone. And then we cut to Tom Waits. You got to make it rain.
The piano isn't drinking.
Spots his cows running into the woods. And he's like, he knows things are afoul.
And he's eating chicken. He's eating the chicken. He said, this is good chicken.
That's later when they're doing something to Frank.
That's right. That's right. Sorry.
Let's not forget about that because I want to talk about that later because I'm going to say I had beef with that chicken line.
Okay.
We're back at the police station. Bill Murray, Adam Driver, and we meet one of the other police officers, Mindy, played by Chloe Sevigny. And they're all looking out the window at the sun that just won't go down while the corpse of Carol Kane's Mallory character is lying in the cell behind them. And Adam Driver says, if you ask me, this whole thing is going to end badly, which becomes his mantra throughout the film.
There was a small part of me that all I could think of, I know this sounds, maybe it's like a weird Star Wars thing and you know how I am about that, but the whole time I was just thinking like, I've got a bad feeling about this. You know what I mean? Like it just totally harkens that. I was wondering if there was somewhere that was maybe slightly intentional.
Well, it would not be the only Star Wars reference in the movie.
Correct.
After that scene, we're at the cafe where Fern and a new character, Lily, discuss the new mortician in town, Zelda Winston, Tilda Swinton, Zelda Winston.
Yeah, we got another name connection.
Another name connection here. They discuss how strange she is, and we immediately go to the funeral home, and we witness Zelda doing her sword work. Here's my guess. I think that sword work's going to come in handy later.
Oh, you think?
An elven Kill Bill in front of a Buddha statue doing Zen sword work.
1,000% harken Kill Bill. Hattori Hanzo sword. That's all I was thinking the whole time. That wig was glorious.
Yeah, let's just add every weird thing with Tilda we can add.
An elfin Scottish Uma Thurman.
Yes.
Yeah, the accent was pretty outrageous.
You in this together?
After we get to watch her sword work, she notices that one of the corpses on the embalming table, the corpse's arm has fallen off the table. Goes in, puts his arm back under the sheet, exits the room, and we see the body twitch. So that's the first time we see signs of some reanimated corpses.
We're pretty far into the movie before you see a zombie.
Yeah.
For a zombie film, I think it's almost 30 minutes before you actually see a zombie.
And once again, once you have this kind of cast, we don't care.
You don't need it.
We just want to see them talk to each other.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's a Jim Jarmusch movie, and he is going to make his movie. This is the same style, the same tone, the same pacing that he always does with zombies.
Right. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
We go back to the police station, and the rest of the cops go home, and Bill Murray, his Cliff character, sleeps overnight in the cell right next to Carol Kane's corpse. Carol Kane's corpse. Carol Kane's corpse.
Where it's clear that they've dated because he makes a comment about sleeping next to her corpse and it'll be like old times, basically, or something like that.
No different than when she was alive.
That's right. I was like, oh, Bill. Also, I think this reunited them from Scrooged.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It totally did.
1989, Scrooge to 2019's The Dead Don't Die.
So when they were doing Scrooge in 1989, Mystery Train was being released.
How about that, Jamie Harmon?
Time's a bitch, isn't it? Jeez.
Yeah, right?
Yes, sir. At this point, we go back to the juvenile detention center and visit the kids. And again, something is strange. And that's really all we use these characters for, is like a cut back to just so we can see another viewpoint of something odd is going on.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Speaking of something odd, why were the guards these jacked
Mr. Cleans?
dudes? You know what I mean? Like, they had these guards come in that I swear looked like The Rock. They're these huge jacked dudes in these like tight white shirts. I'm like, what?
And we only get to see 2 rooms in that place.
Yeah.
And also, I thought what was kind of funny is Geronimo is the character you mentioned that had a little bit of development, and he's always getting busted for being in the girls' area.
Yeah.
Which is another weird part of it too. But what struck me is like, boy, they're pretty nice for guards in a detention center.
Yeah.
You know, in my mind, I really went to the place like, well, maybe Jim's just trying to say that they're not all horrible.
Right.
You know, like what's he trying to say about this? Because there really was nothing else. It's like, we don't really know anything about these guys, what they're in for. And they always seem to be together, even though there shouldn't be. It's another road to go down, because as soon as the zombies got in there, I thought, it's a fucking detention center. How the hell do zombies get in?
Right.
It should be the safest place in the town.
Exactly. You're right. Oh my God, Jamie.
And then I tell myself, it's a zombie movie. They're not even real anyway. So what does it matter where they get into?
They're not real yet.
The movie is so deliberate in, you know, if they're at the pharmacy, what they want, they're playing tennis and they're playing soccer and they're pining for the things that they wanted in life. So they wanted to be in the detention center. Well, you know what? It harkens back to Shawshank Redemption and Brooks. You know, he didn't want to be out either.
I'm going to blame it on a smoker and just someone propped the door open because they realized what was going on outside. They were getting a smoke break, and then the place was breached by the smoker. You know, let that be a lesson to you smokers.
It is a small town. They probably weren't taking it that seriously.
That's true.
They also may have the best food in town since there's only one diner.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, the kids at the detention center can tell something strange. So does Hermit Bob. In fact, he looks up at the moon and sees a purple aura around it and says, "Toxic vibrations." And then we see the dead begin to walk through the cemetery. And the first zombie we see is Sarah Driver, which is Jim Jarmusch's partner. And the second zombie we see is Iggy fucking Pop.
Yes.
Shirtless. Shockingly shirtless.
Shockingly shirtless.
Actually, he's wearing a vest, isn't he?
Yeah, he's wearing a vest, but he doesn't have a shirt on underneath it. Blech.
You still get to see all of Iggy Pop's chest and belly. So yeah, those are the first 2 zombies we see, and they stumble their way to the diner and attack and kill Fern and Lily. Then after they attack and kill them, Sarah Driver's zombie says, "Coffee." So it's the first time we hear the zombies speak. And they walk over to the counter and they start dumping cups of coffee into their mouth holes. Not really swallowing it, just sort of dumping it into their mouth hole, and then all spills out on them.
And before that, Iggy Pop is absolutely gnawing on her intestines.
Yeah. Before he drops it to go to the coffee.
He drops it to go to the coffee. I was like, bleh. That was the horror in this film. By and large, there's no real, I mean, there's creepiness, right? But there's no real like jump scares or anything. This film is just all kind of gore and it's horror. That was one of the first moments that I was like, man, that is nasty.
Just the close-up chewing though, like any of the chopping was cut. You know, they like, well, we don't have a lot of, we're going to use CGI, and we don't have the, you know, we don't want to waste time on actually making it look like I'm chopping it. Well, they did use the CGI.
Later
I was thinking about when Adam Driver's like hitting physical people, they would just cut right at the last minute.
So apparently Iggy Pop asked Jim prior to shooting with the backstory, which I love that. Come on. You need a backstory for your zombie character, Iggy Pop. But Jarmusch explained that he and his girlfriend were killed on a motorcycle in 1973 after leaving a Blue Oyster Cult concert. That's what he told him.
And I would assume her neck was broken because the entire time she's holding her own head up.
Anyway, Iggy Pop actually performed with Blue Oyster Cult and Kiss in 1973.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is a character I can relate to.
Yeah.
It's amazing he remembers.
Yeah, he may not. He's like, who's that? I don't remember.
So Bill Murray gets the call and arrives at the diner where he meets a distraught Danny Glover who warns him about what he's about to see.
Oh, this fucking scene.
So Bill Murray walks in, sees them both dead on the floor. Adam Driver arrives in his smart car.
That is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
And this was another pause moment. I had to pause it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It was so ridiculous.
As a fellow tall person who's driven a smart car before and realized that it's a danger, it's like driving a go-kart. Like my knees get stuck against the steering wheel.
And apparently the sounds of the car were taken from a Star Wars vehicle sound effect.
You know, I thought it did sound odd
Yeah.
driving up. I'm like, it's not an electric
like-
car. What is that
Yeah, it did have a-
sound?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I did. That's great.
Yeah.
So there are multiple
Okay.
Star Wars references.
There are
here.
multiple Star Wars references here.
And, you know, she's driving a Prius. Chloe's driving a Prius, and he's driving a smart car.
So Adam Driver goes in and sees their bodies and says, "Oh,
Yuck.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the second yuck.
yeah."
It still makes me laugh. For me, it was like the best line from my dumbass.
Oh my God. But the best part, right, was the callbacks were immediate. So like Hank says, what do you think it was, Cliff? A wild dog or several wild dogs? And then, you know, Adam Driver goes in, sees the bodies, says, oh, yuck. And then comes out and says, well, maybe it was a wild dog or several wild dogs. They just keep.
Yeah, Chloe arrives in her Prius.
And Chloe says it.
And she is just such a mess. That poor Mindy. She just cannot hold it together. She wanted to be a cop in a small town and was expecting it to be real sleepy and just pull people over or keep them straight. And man, training did not prepare Officer Mindy Morrison for a zombie apocalypse.
Obviously, not a lot of character development. We don't really know anything about any of these people.
No.
Do we? I can't remember any backstories. And even the hipsters from Cleveland are like, where the hell are they going? What are they doing? You know?
The brilliant thing, too, about this scene for me was the silence.
At the diner?
Yeah.
Oh, just standing there after they say their lines.
Yeah. They're just standing there staring at each other in between lines, and their deliveries are very slow. When Adam Driver pulls up in that car, he says nothing to Bill Murray. He just comes and stands next to him, profile, looking at him. And Bill Murray just nods his head.
Yeah. And then Hank eventually says, well, I'm going to go.
So yeah, like you mentioned, Hank says, well, I'm going to get out of here, and he leaves, and they send Mindy to do crowd control.
Crowd control.
Of the three people that are
Of the three.
trying to look through the window. Adam Driver's got 9 of the best 10 lines in this movie.
Yeah.
Bill Murray asks him, so what are you thinking? As in, you know, what's his opinion on who killed him? And he says, I'm thinking zombies, you know, ghouls, the undead.
The undead. And then there's a nice little pause. And then Bill Murray says, you're telling me you think zombies did this? And then another pause. And then he's like, yeah.
This device is used several times through the movie. I think it's zombies in theory. And then everyone just goes along with it. You know, it's like, I like that fact that we don't have to we got to convince everybody it's zombies. It's just sort of, I think this is zombies. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
That was nice.
It makes it easy.
I think I enjoyed it too. It's like, well, that's what it is. All right.
Well, it does make sense a little bit later, right? When we understand a little bit more about the fourth wall and what these two characters are supposed to know.
Yeah, getting to the fourth wall, I guess, there was one moment where I'm not positive where maybe it was when Bill Murray went into the diner where he looked at the camera. I feel like there's only like 3 or 4 times where the fourth wall was broken. It was like, it's a theme song. And then definitely when he said later, we'll get to when he talked about, I got the full
and the
script.
police car, yeah.
But then there was one, I can't remember what scene it was where I could have sworn he looked at the camera for a second. But I don't remember if it was Bill or if it was another character. But there wasn't a ton of it. And you were going to talk about that later, right? You said, I got some thoughts on that.
Yeah, it gets heavy later. They really lean into it later.
Yeah, it gets real heavy later.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
I didn't notice that either. Worth another watch. Worth a third watch.
Or just ask the robot.
Hey, robot.
Yeah.
So at this point, we have new characters. It's the arrival of the Cleveland hipsters.
I died.
Oh, just because you didn't know they were in it?
I didn't know any of them were in it. I mean, I saw their names in the credits and I was like, what?
And so weird. Just where they're sitting, how they're sitting, their lines, like everything about sharing a drink.
The sharing and a drink thing, I thought it was heavy-handed because it was saying these guys like each other a lot. They have no boundaries. They're going to share a drink together.
One of the weird things I thought about is like, all right, the placement's weird. Let's take the actors and who they are and what they look like. The girl is driving, go into a small town in America. And then eventually we learn she owns the car and she's not dating either one of them.
And it was an energy drink. At first I thought if it's a beer, that makes sense, you know, because they could only afford like one beer.
Sharing an energy drink makes it more gross.
I was like, bleh. Ew.
And it was almost empty because they were tilted it pretty high.
They wanted us to know that there are none of these old people hang-ups in this group of friends. But I have an old person hang up about drinking after anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Especially at the end of a can.
Right. But we've got Selena Gomez. We've got Austin Butler. And we've got Lucas Sabat.
Was this right after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Within like a 2-year span, maybe?
Actually, it was before. IMDb listed Dead Don't Die right before Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Maybe they were filmed at the same time.
Yeah, maybe so.
But, I mean, Elvis was 2022, right?
And that was a classic 80s horror movie. The way they did their scene was they're driving down a back highway. We need gas. It says gas, like it's a trick gas sign to get you to come into the town, you know, like, and then they go to the motel and then they die.
Right.
Yeah, there were a lot of intentional tropes used, sort of just like, this is my movie. It's going to have zombies in it. I'm going to use the trope so horror fans can appreciate that.
And just flip the script on those too, because in the old days, it would have been like the alpha dude driving the muscle car.
Right.
And the girls would have been ditzy and didn't know anything. And in this one, it was all reversed. The other characters really didn't have much to offer the scenes. Their lines were very simple, where she interacted with the police officers and she complimented everyone.
Talk to Bobby. Yeah.
So let's talk about that scene. So they get to the gas station and they go inside, and so awkward Bobby's behind the counter. And immediately Austin Butler calls him Frodo, which is what RZA had called him. And he said, "Did you call me Frodo?"
Frodo?
I didn't get Frodo vibes from him ever, for two separate people to call him Frodo.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the first time it made me think that the other two, that was his nickname for him, like his pet name, and they were really close.
Yeah. But the second one was a little head scratching. So there's this store. There's a lot going on in this store. First of all, Bobby's wearing an Nosferatu t-shirt and a Night of the Living Dead pen. And Selena Gomez says, "Nice t-shirt," and then spots a CD that she buys, The Dead Don't Die by Sturgill Simpson. I didn't count the callbacks to The Dead Don't Die, but it has to at least be 5.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They buy the CD and they go outside, and Bobby follows them outside. I can't remember why.
Oh, because he sees the car.
Oh, he sees the car and he says, "Great car." And he said it's very old school Romero vibes. So again, shout out to Night of the Living Dead for the second time.
It's a Pontiac Le Mans.
Pontiac Le Mans. Gorgeous car.
Beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous car.
And right before she gets in the car, she's like, "Thanks." And then they have the little star kind of around her head. Yeah.
Well, first she says what any geek wants an attractive woman to say.
Yes.
Your film knowledge is impressive, or your whatever knowledge, whatever your geek area is impressive.
Yeah.
And then she lights up.
That's when Luca's character calls him
Bobby Baggins.
Bobby Baggins. That's right.
She asks him what his last name is. He says, Bobby Wiggins. And then the guy makes the joke. And then he's a little deflated. And then she says the compliment. And then he's inflated.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Bobby.
So at least he's left on a high note.
And obviously, since we had this moment, they're going to fall in love, and we're going to develop a whole arc of their two characters getting together. And obviously, right? Obviously, that's going to happen later.
Yeah, obviously.
They get back to the motel, these three of the Cleveland hipsters. So they're staying at this local motel, which there was a pretty funny line earlier. Zach character says, "Are they cute little separate bungalows like in Psycho?" And
like in Psycho?
Bobby's like,
in Psycho, they were all connected.
That's his exact delivery, Jamie.
and the motel they stayed at was like Psycho.
It was.
Yeah. I can't remember why the cops are there.
They're telling the owner of the hotel, hey, we just, there's a problem at the diner.
Yeah. There's a little interchange that's pretty damn cute where Selena Gomez asks if they have any change for the vending machine. And Adam Driver, obviously, you can tell, is
Smitten.
So he gives her all the change and she hands him the cash. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And she's like, you sure? He's like, yeah. And she walks away. Again, one of his funniest lines, he says, that girl's part Mexican. I have an affinity for Mexicans. They're like my favorite people.
Yeah. How can you tell? I think Bill Murray's like, how can you tell?
How can you tell? And there's nothing factual here. I just have an affinity for them and I can tell. It was really cute. There's a funny little interchange too between him saying like, I feel like they give me Pittsburgh vibes. And he's like, well, the plates say Ohio, so I'm thinking Cleveland vibes. I thought that was, and that's also if they were from Pittsburgh, right? The city Romero studied and started his directorial career in was Pittsburgh. So I just was wondering if that was like maybe a little connection there.
I assumed it was.
And Jim Jarmusch named his production entity Imagine 11 as a nod to Imagine 10, which was the production company that produced Night of the Living Dead.
That's pretty dope.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Bill Murray and Adam Driver's characters going to different locations. Now they're here. Now they're there. I get it. They're cops and they're trying to figure things out, but just sort of, we don't know the motivation for why they're there. They're just there. So I guess because...
Well, that's what's in the script.
So they go to the cemetery and Bill Murray even says, what have you been looking for here?
He falls in the stupid hole and it's
The
like...
way that he falls into it is the funniest thing. Bill Murray's pratfalls are the best things on the fucking planet. Like, this one isn't. He's like, what are we looking for here? Oh.
And it might be the only time that Adam Driver shows any emotion.
Yeah.
He laughs at it. He's kind of smiling at it. And that's it,
He goes and helps him up. And he's like, oh, look, there's another one right here.
So yeah, they find two. So we're to assume that those are the two graves of the zombies played by Iggy Pop and Sarah Driver. And then they leave, and then Tom Waits' Hermit Bob character comes down and looks at the hole and says, God damn it, ghouls.
God damn it, ghouls.
Right after that scene, we're at the hardware store where Bobby is telling Hank about immediately. This is another one of those moments where this person is telling this person it's zombies. Don't need facts, don't need any proof. It's just he's telling Hank that to kill a zombie, you got to kill the head. And he's just like, okay, I'll do it. So they start assembling all these weapons that they're going to use to kill zombies with.
Yeah, we need no proof of this. We're just kind of all going along with it. But this could be another like fourth wall moment, right? So like the film uses sort of zombie rules that they maybe have seen in other movies, like you got to kill the head.
This is in the real world.
Yeah, it's not like the real world where they had an experience with a bunch of zombies and it happened to be that when they were trying to kill them, the only thing that worked is you got to chop off their head. They just said from the beginning, this is how you do it. And none of these characters are connected, right? This is what Ronnie said and this is what Bobby said, but they don't get together and say it, right? Especially somebody like Bobby, right? Given his knowledge of zombie films. His knowledge is coming from movies, not from real life.
Yeah, Bobby's character, he knows the rules because that's his character. His character is supposed to know, whereas Adam Driver knows because he read the full script.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we get proof right away because the very next shot is the cemetery, and now it's overrun with zombies. They're coming out of the graves, walking everywhere. There's no turning back. Everyone's going to know, if you don't know already, that it is zombies. So back at the motel, we see the hotel manager looking for his missing cats, and he's attacked by a group of zombies with one of them saying, free cable.
He's like, oh yeah, we have free cable. Ah!
And then he gets mauled and taken down. So at the 1 hour mark, when arriving at the police station with the weapons from the hardware store, Bill Murray and Adam Driver tell Chloe Sevigny that it's zombies. And then Carol Kane's corpse reanimates. And she says, Chardonnay.
Did she just say Chardonnay? And again, silence. And then Bill Murray goes, yeah. And then more silence. Like, it's just so... And she's just standing there. It's so good. And nobody is freaking out but Mindy.
Yeah.
She's like, everyone's just totally calm.
Well, as we know, Bill Murray's read these scenes.
Right.
Yeah. So Bill and Adam has the upper hand, but you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bill Murray feels the need to be the one to dispose of Mallory because of their history, and he fires a couple of shots into her body, and a bunch of
Ashes.
Sprays. But then Adam Driver steps in and after several whacks, it's harder than it looks apparently, he decapitates her with a machete. Bill Murray says, those were some pretty good cuts. You played some minor league ball, didn't you? And Adam Driver says, well, some Class A. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it took a couple of slices for poor Carol Kane to go down.
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd, too, that it took so many.
She was a tough broad. It took me a while to kind of figure out. I was like, I don't understand what this is that's coming out of them when he slices their heads off or when they die. It took me a second. Like, I was like, I don't understand. It looks like soot.
Yeah, it does look like soot. Yeah, exactly.
And so I didn't understand. And something happened later and somebody said ashes to ashes or something. They said something about ashes. And I was like, oh, okay. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It's the person's ashes because they were already dead, right? Inside.
It was the first time I'd ever seen it
done like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was interesting because there would be no running blood in these people's bodies. They're dead.
And we see it all the time. Spray blood out of zombie movies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, where they don't have functioning arteries.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm remembering. That's true. That's a good point because when the people in the motel weren't zombies and they made a point to say when Adam was chopping off their heads so they wouldn't become zombies, their blood splatters all over him and he cleans the blade. And then it splatters all over Bill and Chloe.
And Chloe.
So then we go to the funeral home, the scene right after that, where we see Tilda Swinton.
Zelda Winston putting on makeup on the two golfers that were struck by lightning that were mentioned earlier. What a farce of a makeup job that she's doing on both of their faces. It looks like divine.
Yeah, it was. That was what I thought. It was divine.
Or poison.
Or poison.
Oh, yeah. Open up and say, ah. Yeah, but the guy looked like divine to me. So, like, that's all I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah. So she's working on both of their faces at the same time. And first, the woman's eyes open, she closes them. Then the guy's eyes open and she closes them. And then they both pop open and they both sit upright on the embalming tables at the same time. And she says, I can't do a Scottish accent.
Are you two in this together then? I'm not very good at it either, but that's what she says. Are you two in this together?
Then she cuts their heads off and says, "Now had you looking so bunny."
What a shame. Had you looking so bunny.
Like all embalmers do, she's doing her job with a katana sword at her waist. You know,
of course.
It's what people do.
Like you do.
As one does.
I think then she heads over to she starts walking like a robot.
Like a fucking robot.
Oh, first, hang on. We got a little scene in between. Back at Frank's house, Frank, Steve Buscemi's character, has a zombie come to his front door. And I thought it was very fitting they made it a black zombie since he wears a hat that says,
Keep America White Again.
He shoots that zombie. And then we go to the next scene is the gas station, where the gas station is overrun with zombies. And we see all of these zombies saying the words that they yearned for when they were alive.
Yeah. Wi-Fi.
Skittles, toys, Snickers. It's a lot of the kids.
But we go inside past all of these kids. Camera goes inside of the store and RZA turns around and he is a zombie.
He's a zombie.
Now we know what the Z in RZA stands for.
There you go.
Ah,
there it is.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Then immediately outside, we see the zombified Sturgill Simpson lumbering up towards the gas station.
With the guitar.
And says, guitar.
Guitar. Yeah, it was a good one.
And I think he has acting in his future, as we've seen Righteous Gemstones.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So next we go back to the juvenile detention center with our underdeveloped characters. It's overrun with zombies. As Jamie mentioned earlier, it's like, how these fucking zombies get in there? I'm going to blame it on a smoker. The kids, they just hide in the closet. They wedge the door and hide in the closet. And then that's it.
That's it. That's all you see of them.
And we immediately go to the police station. That's when Zelda arrives, walking 90-degree turns everywhere she walks.
And that really weird white bike in the yard.
I saw that too. I was like, oh, the ghost bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We follow her to the police station as she whacks the zombies along the way and finally gets inside. She has a crush on Adam Driver's character, right?
Yeah. Are you and the handsome one together?
The physically attractive one.
And calls them by their full names.
Yeah.
Chief Cliff Robertson, Officer Ronnie Peterson. Like the whole time, she's just calling them all by their full name.
Yep. She asks Bill Murray, since he is the elder cop, so what's your plan? What are you going to do? And he really, you can tell he's thinking of a plan right at this moment. He's like, well, I guess since our job is to protect the people, I guess we go on patrol. And then Chloe Sevigny says, I'm not staying here alone. I'm going with you.
Right.
And so Tilda Swinton's character offers to man the police station while they go out on patrol.
Which again, Jamie, this is maybe one of those moments where the one place you want to be is the police station. What zombie wants to be at they're all going to avoid it.
Yeah, they're all going back to their own world. And then, they ask her if she knows how to work the computer system they have. And she goes, I think I can handle it. Then we learn that apparently she's a master coder.
She's an alien, for sure.
Yeah. And we didn't know, but we knew she was something, from the beginning. We're like, oh, okay.
This was a very E.T. moment, right? So she's phoning home through this computer system and sending signals.
Yeah, they all leave. So they're all in the cop car together and they're all driving,
Well, hang on. First, as they're leaving, she asks Adam Driver for his car keys. And so he hands her the car keys. And his car keys has a Star Wars keychain. And she says, oh, you like Star Wars? What did she say? It's good fiction?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good fiction. I didn't even get that line till right now.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking idiot I am. I cannot believe I just now got that line.
Yeah. It's all we love you, Bart. We're here for you.
Me words, thoughts not well.
And it's the Imperial Starship, right? Isn't that what's on the keychain?
Yeah. So then we get to the cops driving around in the squad car, and they keep passing all of these zombies on the street, and they're all doing the activities that they liked when they were younger. And this is a very back to Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead, there's that iconic line in the mall where they ask, why are they coming here? And I'm going to butcher this line, but it's something like they gravitate to what they loved when they were alive.
Yeah. Which is almost like a direct quote. Not a direct quote, but I mean, it's...
The sentiment is exactly the same.
Yes.
And 100% an homage.
And you see them playing tennis and playing soccer, and there's all sorts of scenes where at the pharmacy saying Oxy and Ambien and...
Well, just the funny parts of they're all buried in their tennis outfit and they're buried in their baseball outfits.
Right.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. It's like, boy, that's a lot of people that died doing what they loved.
And then we're left in those outfits and rotted away. Laying wherever they were, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Tilda Swinton is the new funeral director, because the other one was so terrible.
Yeah, right. They're like, well, that's fine. Speaking of dress, though, there's one moment where they're driving down towards the cemetery. Adam Driver's character leans out the window and, machete cuts off the head of that one particular zombie. You remember that moment?
Yeah.
That zombie is dressed in the same clothes and with the same hair as Bill Murray's character in Zombieland.
You're absolutely right, he is.
Wow.
Same floppy hair and everything.
Yep, you're welcome.
Boom.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
It felt so planted, that scene, and I didn't know why.
That's why.
So they planted that scene just to do that.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. Yeah, that's rad. I had no idea. They get to the motel where they find the Cleveland hipsters dead in their room. Yeah, that's where we are. And Adam Driver says, he goes in, looks, and says, well, that's bad. The king of the understatement throughout this movie.
Yeah. Captain Obvious.
So immediately, he just goes in and starts chopping their heads off, not wasting any time.
Anytime.
But they still just stand there at the door and watch.
It's the train wreck. Yeah.
They just watch it happen. Yeah, everything's so delayed.
Yeah.
They watch him chop 3 people's heads off, and then she says, why did you do that? It's like, well, you had she could have said, what are you doing? As he walked in and raised it.
And then to make matters worse, he walks out with Selena Gomez's character's head.
Yeah, holding it by the hair.
Like a trophy.
Throws it back. Yeah.
Well, these people aren't undead yet. They haven't turned yet. And then the thing is that Cliff so often in this movie says, he's right. Talking about Ronnie. He's right. He's right.
Before he decapitates Selena Gomez, he sees the Sturgill Simpson Dead Don't Die CD on the bed and puts it in his pocket.
Oh, that's right.
So then we get to the hardware store, and the zombies totally take over the store. They get through the back door, and this is where Bobby and Hank are still trying to fend off the zombies, and they just get overtaken by zombies. And that's the last thing we see, is just them fighting to the end as the zombies fill the room.
I've had such a little soft spot in my heart for Danny Glover in this film as Hank. He was so sweet. I mean, just kind of putting up with fucking Farmer Frank's bullshit and then stumbling upon Fern and Lily in the diner. You know, I mean, he just had this sort of horrible experience all around. And I don't know. I was like, poor Hank.
It was hard for me also, but just to see as we get older and we see certain actors showing their age, it's like, he's not 40 anymore. So yeah, they get overtaken. And then right after that, we cut to Frank's house where he gets devoured. He's out in the yard and he gets devoured by zombies. And that's when Hermit Bob is in the woods watching and pulls up a piece of chicken and says, well, this is good fried chicken.
But it's not fried, right?
Or he said, this is good chicken.
You had beef with that. You had beef with the chicken line.
Yeah, my beef with it was just too explained. We know it's his chicken. We know it's chicken. As soon as he takes a bite, we're all adults. We know that that's his chicken.
Yeah.
Tell us without telling us.
It's cute when he just takes a bite of the chicken. And it's like, hey, for the dumb fuckers out there, this is his chicken.
Yeah.
And no one said it was good chicken before.
Yeah.
Like he's agreeing with someone in the past.
Right.
This is good chicken, like Cliff said.
Yeah.
We're back in the police car. The police car gets stuck in the cemetery. It looks like it's stuck on bodies. And so all of our cops are trapped in the cemetery, unable to move the car. And this is when Ronnie says again, this is going to end badly.
And Bill Murray's just over it.
He says, shut up, Ronnie.
Shut up, Ronnie.
Ronnie says, this is his other emotion, Jamie. He goes, no, you shut up.
Oh, yeah.
It was like kids arguing.
Now, this is after he throws the Sturgill Simpson CD out the window. He puts it in. He gets sick of it. I've had enough of this. Bill Murray throws it out the window. Bill is losing patience.
Losing patience. Yeah. Exactly. He tosses the CD out the window. So yeah, after that, the tensions are high and they're yelling at each other. And then in the backseat, Mindy's dead grandmother appears at the window. She's freaking out already. She can't handle the situation. Her grandmother is saying, Mindy, Mindy. And so she does what anyone would do in a panic situation. You give yourself to being eaten by zombies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she gets out of the car. Thankfully, the zombies
don't get in.
Are so dumb they accidentally close the door right behind her. So that way Bill Murray and Adam Driver's character are safe.
And can have this great conversation.
Oh, first we cut to Zelda driving the smart car down the street. Very peaceful scene.
Very peacefully.
She's weaving in and out of zombies lumbering on the street.
I have a question about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right before this, we see Bill Murray head on hit a zombie.
Yeah.
With his car. And Mindy says, why did you do that? Why did you have to do that? And he says, I didn't see him. And then you have Zelda being very careful not to hit them.
It is a smart car.
And they don't seem to be attacking her.
She's not human. She doesn't have organs.
Jamie.
But I am curious why she stopped and cut the head off of the fashion person.
Just to say the tartan line, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so. So we all know that it's a Scottish accent she's doing.
Yeah. And just she's offended by the tartan plaid.
Okay, that's what it was.
That was definitely another plant that could have completely been omitted.
Yeah, I'm not sure we needed that. Fashion.
So we're back in the car. Cliff asks Ronnie why he's been saying this is all going to end badly and why he's so fucking sure that it is. And Ronnie says, it's because I read the script. And Cliff asks, you've read the whole script? And Ronnie says, yeah, Jim gave me the whole script.
I love that he says his name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Cliff says, oh, he just gave me the script with my scenes in it.
Yeah, he just gave me my pages.
I've done so much for the guy.
So much that you don't even know about.
So much that you don't even know about. Yeah. And then he says, what a dick.
What a dick. So here's my beef.
Got it.
It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yes, I thought about that. Mm-hmm.
But anytime it happens, I'm out of the movie for a while.
I get it.
Because then you start thinking, like, are they Bill Murray and Adam Driver, or are they Cliff and Ronnie?
Mm-hmm.
And it takes me a while to get back into the flow of things. And I know this film, there's a lot of things you just let go of, but it takes me a minute.
I think I was back in it, though, because they went through the little conversation. And then he said, Bill kind of came to the like, well, you read the whole script. You know it doesn't end badly, so let's do this.
But I will say, to your point, Bart, who is Bill Murray then? Is he Bill Murray or is he actually Cliff? But it's these moments with Cliff or Bill that you think, well, now I don't know if he's Cliff or Bill. That knowledge of Bill Murray knowing Jim, just then your brain has to go down all of those paths. So it is a little strange.
It takes me out of the movie experience, and I have to force myself back into the magic movie world and not the people who are making a movie.
Not the real people movie world.
So a spacecraft hovers overhead. While Zelda's chopping off zombie heads in the cemetery, she, by the way, great CG. She splits one guy's head in half.
Yeah.
Zombie head opening.
Parting.
Vertically. Parting, and you see all the dust come out. I thought that one was excellent.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then walks out into the cemetery where all the zombies have congregated because they're all looking up at the spacecraft, and she just stares up at the spacecraft with them.
Right.
Where you go when the fourth wall is broken and you can't get back, I am constantly thinking, the hell does this have to do with anything? And then I have to tell myself, oh, it's an absurd movie anyway. So I go in that little loop, and then it happens, and then I go on to the next thing just fine.
Right. But it is like, what was Zelda's purpose? Why did she come to the town in the first place?
Exactly.
If she wasn't going to stick it out and save them, it feels like when it got really hard, she was like, fuck this noise, I'm out. Like after kind of helping them build this plan and helping them attack these zombies, right?
Well, she just moved there. She just
moved there.
Or was this part of her planet's plan to zombify Earth?
Yeah, but why would she kill any of them then?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to...
You know what I mean? Unless it was just fun and she needed sword practice.
That's a good point. There's a lot to let go of, or you have to let go of in this movie.
Yeah. It's just the absurd. I can tell myself pretty easily. It's like, oh, it's just campy, kitschy absurdity. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just walk away from it and it's fine.
There is a message that we'll get to at the end when we talk about it that I'm like, oh, here's my takeaway.
But there is a line when the spacecraft's overhead, Bill Murray asks Adam Driver's character, was this in the script? And Adam Driver says, no.
No.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So this is new to them. Again, it's like, I like the device. I've always liked the device. Ferris Bueller's Day Off wouldn't have existed as a movie without this device.
No. Perfect.
So I like it. It's just it's my own personal demon that I just have to deal with.
Adam did not get the full script then.
Or there was a rewrite.
He was like, I wanted everybody to be surprised by the UFO. So I intentionally left that scene out.
Jarmusch is a dick.
He's a dick. Yeah. He's just a dick.
Okay.
So spacecraft opens up a beam and sucks up Tilda, and Tilda's out. She's gone. Spacecraft takes off, goes off into space. We are done with Zelda Winston.
I thought she was going to save them all.
I thought so too. Cliff asks Ronnie at this point, so how does it end? And Ronnie tells him, well, we got to give our best shot. What does Cliff say? He says, but it does end badly. And Ronnie replies, yep. So they get out, walk out of the cemetery. Bill Murray with his shotgun, Adam Driver with his machete.
And I said immediately, I need a slow-mo moment here. And almost right when it came out of my mouth, it went to slow-mo. I was like, yep, that's what we needed.
Bill Murray utters, okay, let's do it. Then they walk out in slow-mo. And to battle the undead, in the cemetery, they just walk through the cemetery killing reanimated versions of their friends and the townsfolk. And just one after the other, we could see all these characters that we've seen in the movie that are now zombies, except for the kids from the detention center. So let's all assume that they did make it out.
Bill gave one zombie a pass.
Hank. He's like, I can't do it, Hank.
Hank. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
You're going to have to do it yourself. And I thought he was going to hand him the gun for a second.
And then he just kind of walks away because that's who Hank is in the afterlife too. Yeah. And man, Cliff gets so upset when Ronnie kills Mindy.
Yep. Too soon, I guess. But Mindy also says right before it, it's the first character, I think, that says two words, right? She says both their names. And then Ronnie does what Ronnie does and just beheads the shit out of her.
Did you notice throughout the film, there was this like father-daughter sort of thing going on with them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that was solidified when you saw how upset he was when Ronnie had to kill her.
Yep. An earlier scene where Mindy is crying and she says, I just want to know that everything's going to be okay. And then Bill Murray tells her everything is going to be okay. It's all going to be fine tomorrow. And then Adam Driver says, I don't think so. And so
Shut up.
Exactly.
Shut up, Ronnie.
She starts crying and Bill Murray has to comfort her. So yeah, definitely several scenes like that.
It almost looks like he's about to kiss her on the forehead.
Twice. Two different scenes.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do it. It's like he had to hold himself back. Bill Murray, the actor, had to hold himself back from not doing it.
100% he did.
Mm-hmm.
He leans in and stops because it's natural reaction, but it's a thing of the past.
And also that seems so very un-Bill Murray.
Or maybe, no, on Cliff, but probably Bill Murray. Yeah, it was an actor moment. It was not a character moment. It was definitely
an actor moment, for sure.
Frank comes up. He relishes shooting Frank in the face.
Yeah, he loved that. He hated Frank. He made that pretty clear the whole movie.
At this point, they're overwhelmed. They go back to back to fight off the zombies. Then we get to Tom Waits' Herman Bob character. As best we could tell, he's the only person that really has no interaction with the undead.
Right.
Yeah. And also the only person that survives.
He's a bystander to the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's the narrator, of course, too. But because of that, it's like, oh, he's the only one, which in my mind is like, he's the only one left on Earth.
Right.
When it was all over, I'm like, well, he's been living in the woods all his life. He's fine because the animals weren't affected in this one.
I felt bad for the characters that didn't realize that all the safety was just a few feet away into the woods.
That's where the cows and the chickens and the cats and the dog, they're all going to the woods.
They all go hang out with Bob the Hermit. I think he was the Greek chorus of this whole film.
Yeah. Herman Bob is going to be our narrator for the end, and he watches as Cliff and Ronnie get overtaken. And a lot of lines of dialogue in here. Some great, some a little heavy-handed.
I don't remember any, truthfully, except it was just like a synopsis of like, it's over, the world gets what it deserves or something, you know?
Here's the takeaway. I'm paraphrasing. I didn't think any lines were gold.
Yeah.
But here's the takeaway I took. That the dead were just ghosts who sold their souls for consumer goods that gave them pleasure when they were alive.
Mm-hmm.
And he did say this, now they're just hungry for more stuff.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Which was, for me, the broader message of like the whole thing in a way, you know, like Siri, Oxy, all the little one-liners are just kind of like simple ways of putting it, humans in perspective, capitalist humans or the world of what we live in.
Consumerism.
Right.
Consumers, yeah.
Right.
He said a lot of that in a lot of different ways, but yeah, the takeaway was they sold their souls for useless shit, and now they're in their own version of hell. And as the zombies take down Cliff and Ronnie, Tom Waits says, "What a fucked up world." And that's it. That's our last line of the movie.
And that's it. What a fucked up world.
And Sturgill Simpson plays us out for maybe the 5th time in the movie.
And them's 2019 dollars.
Yeah.
Imagine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's The Dead Don't Die. I think my opinion is the same as it was when I saw it in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about this, Lindsey, through a series of questions if you want to do it that way.
Yeah. So, Jamie, we always have to ask these questions. So, very curious to kind of hear your take on a scale of horror to comedy. Where do you think The Dead Don't Die lands? Where does it land for you? Is it 50-50 right down the middle? Would it be 50% horror, 50% comedy? So how would you lay out those percentages?
Man. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it like that. If I had to just put it in a category, obviously it's a horror movie, but at 55 years old, there's not many movies that are scary anymore. But I almost saw this as kind of slightly political oddball comedy with horror thrown in as the backdrop. Horror wasn't the main goal. And truthfully, usually the stuff that I'm attracted to, as well, I'm sure with you guys, it's not the mainstream anyway.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I always have to compare it to like, well, are you asking me what the country thinks that this would be? I think it is such a weird horror genre, but taking a lot of liberties in the way Jarmusch can do what he wants in such a way that it really makes me like, I just love the weirdness of what's not said and even how the actors are just saying these weird lines and this weird, strange interaction. It goes back to the cast and the way it almost felt like a dress rehearsal. Like, we're only going to do one take and then we're going to move on. And it was great. And breaking that fourth wall early made me really dig in, you know? I think it made me go, oh, I'm not going to go to the bathroom. Well, I don't want to miss anything.
It does sound like you're leaning more towards comedy than you are horror, though. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think so. I would lean more towards comedy for me, but also it's not a traditional comedy. The things I laugh at the most are not like Adam Driver's only funny because he's standing next to Bill Murray. even though Bill's not the funny man in this necessarily, to me, just him saying yuck, it still makes me laugh. So yeah, I think it would be more comedy.
Yeah, what do you think, Bart?
It's a Jim Jarmusch movie, which are quirky comedies. Some people don't like them. I personally love them. I think we all three of us personally love them. So it's a Jim Jarmusch comedy with zombies.
Yeah.
So I would say 90% comedy, 10% horror.
That is exactly where I am, 90-10. I have to think about intention too, right? They did not set out to make a horror film. It's the vehicle. It's the device. They wanted to show some of that. And the purpose of even the zombies, as we've talked about, is just this consumer culture of we kill the planet or each other just to keep, feeding our shallow appetites, right? We consume, we destroy in the process. Like the zombies are a necessary device for that commentary, but I feel like they set out to make a comedy.
Yeah, I guess the zombies are definitely the device of which I knew when I first heard them saying one word.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically just reducing all of us to one word, which is what we've allowed to happen to us by the, 1%ers that own everything, that are like, we're the consumers, they're the capitalists. So like in this movie, they're polar fracking, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So they're polar fracking. They've destroyed themselves, which is what they will do, which is the way the system is designed to work.
Mm-hmm.
But we are just one word stuff gatherers.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think the scares are really designed to terrify you. They're more absurd and intentionally awkward. And the horror is in the texture, right? The gore, the zombies, the dread. But the humor is what drives it. I wasn't ever scared. I didn't ever jump. There was no jump scares. There's none of that in here. Mm-mm.
Never. Not once, yeah.
Yuck. All right. So, Jamie, the other thing we always ask is, what would your elevator pitch for this film be if you were either trying to get the film made or just trying to kind of talk a friend into watching it with you? What would your pitch be?
I hate selling things.
So,
Don't we all? Son of a bitch.
All right, Lloyd Dobler.
yes. You just said Lloyd Dobler.
I would be such a lame pitch person.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Yes, you go first, and maybe I can just riff off of you.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. Whatever you say will work. But mine for this one's really simple because, like I've already said, this is a Jim Jarmusch movie. It's Jim Jarmusch characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jim Jarmusch tones. So I would just say a classic Jim Jarmusch movie with zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is pretty similar. A deadpan zombie Jim Jarmusch comedy where Bill Murray and Adam Driver know the world's ending but still show up for work.
But yeah, I think when you asked me the question, I'm like, so the movie hasn't been made. I maybe am the person trying to get the funding to make it. And that was the pitch I was thinking about. Like, oh, no. It could just be like, hey, you want to watch a movie? What's it? What is it? It's Jim Jarmusch.
Right. That's all you have to say. It's a Jim Jarmusch film.
It's a mystery train with zombies.
Yeah. That is kind of what's amazing about this film in particular. Jim Jarmusch has been making films since 1980. And this was the first of his career to receive a wide release in over 600 theaters in the United States.
Really? They had to because it was like all the cast.
Yeah. And it premiered. It was the opening film at Cannes in 2019. It's funny that it takes something like this to make Jim Jarmusch more of a household name when folks like you and I have just watched his films since the 80s,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One more question.
Yeah.
I'll go to Lindsey first. Would you recommend this movie and what caveats would you put on it and who you're recommending it to?
Yes, I would absolutely recommend this movie. I would say I would recommend it to anyone. And I realize that sounds strange, but I am forever the optimist that wants to take whatever people's film experience is and help them see past and beyond your typical films, right? If it's somebody that I'm talking to that I already know, like loves this type of film, like Bart, I'd be like, oh my God, have you seen, Jim Jarmusch's most recent film? And he does have a new project that I'm excited about that sounds like it's going to be really good. So I would talk to you about that, right? I have sent this trailer this week to several people who I know either one, would totally dig it because they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. Why haven't I seen this? Or people who I know probably have never like we talked about, have no fucking clue who Jim Jarmusch is. But this is one of those films, is the perfect introduction to films like that, right? They may not go back and watch some of the other Jim Jarmusch films, but they may go, well, that was really entertaining. I mean, yeah, there may be some caveats that you'd have to say, like, okay, you got to deal with some fourth wall breaking that may take you in and out. There's some things that just, there aren't explanations for. You just have to dive in and say, wow, I mean, Jarmusch is very clearly a Camus fan. So just get ready. But otherwise, I would recommend it to anybody.
Jamie, what about you?
Yes, now that we've, especially fresh off of it and talking about it for an hour or so, really, really makes me appreciate it more and almost must want to watch it again.
Yeah.
But while you were describing your I think I would be like, yeah, I want to go back and watch Mystery Train because that was 30 years now that we talked about it, 1989, 2019, it was a 30-year difference. Is crazy, 30 years. And it would really be interesting to watch those back to back just to see differences and choices made. But if I was going to, I would definitely recommend it and say, look, just the cast alone, I keep bringing that up.
Yeah.
But it's like all that stuff is going to make it to where it doesn't matter even if you get it. You don't even have to get it. It'll be a fun movie to watch. I think even my dad would like it.
Right.
There's your elevator pitch right there.
Yeah. A zombie movie even my dad would like. There it is.
I'll get him the DVD for his birthday.
In SD.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely recommend it. I would not recommend it to straight horror fans looking for a horror film. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't recommend it to people that I didn't think had the right sense of humor. I think they're just going, it was boring. So there would be caveats of who I recommended it to. Like anybody that I just immediately knew had this similar sensibilities, 100% I would. It's like, it's a fucking Jim Jarmusch movie. Just watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there's zombies in it. And if people did like a little comedy and a little horror, 100% I'd recommend it to them too. But yeah, I definitely would recommend it, 100%. It was a joy watching it. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it any more than I did when the first time I watched it, or any less. But it kind of makes me want to go back and watch more older Jim Jarmusch's, like you said. I'd like to see Night on Earth again and see what my opinion is now many years later, or Mystery Train or anything else.
Coffee and Cigarettes. We haven't talked about that either.
Oh, yeah. RZA was in Coffee and Cigarettes, wasn't he? Bill Murray and RZA.
Bill Murray was too, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's The Dead Don't Die by Jim Jarmusch. An absolute pleasure, and an absolute pleasure getting to chat with you two fine human beings about said movie.
Yes.
If you want to know more about Jamie, Amurica is the brand. I now feel too old to mention the website, so I'm not going to do that. Thanks, Jamie.
You can find it on the social medias.
Amurica.
Actually, do not. I'd rather nobody look me up.
Jamie Harmon.
Just leave me alone.
Leave this poor man alone. He has been through too much.
Your COVID photos were fascinating, though.
Oh, thank you. That definitely almost killed me, but thank you.
Jamie, during the pandemic, took photos of people in their homes, except separated by their windows and their doors. And there is a book of those photos, which I know Jamie doesn't want to talk about.
I actually still have 600 of those left in my studio. So MemphisQuarantine.com. Order one, $35.
But leave him alone. Just order the book and leave him the fuck alone.
Yes, please. There's 2,000 pounds of books have got to go. Crazy Larry is selling books.
Jamie has lost his lease. Everything must go.
Everything must go.
Woo, forgot about those until every time I walk into my studio and I'm like, God damn. Oh.
Jamie, absolute pleasure, my man. Thank you.
Absolutely. This is awesome. Jamie, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Love you guys.
We love you.
Well, that was a joy, my friend.
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
It's kind of seemed like just we all appreciate Jarmusch and we all appreciate that style and that sensibility. And so we all kind of had a very similar opinion on it. None of us disagreed on if we loved it or hated it. None of us disagreed on what the film was.
Right. Which I'm fine with disagreements. But Jamie and I were talking about this, like, when the movie is as good as this, there's just always so much to talk about. We've had films that we've talked about where we're kind of, well, you're gonna run out of things to say here, but man, when it's like ripe, there's so much to talk about. It's so great. Also, I immediately went to MemphisQuarantine.com. I cannot believe it's only $35, knowing how much time he put into it. And it started out at $75 a pop. And it just, even if you're not familiar with Memphis, just the sentiment of seeing these people behind closed doors and quarantine, if you live through it, it will hit home.
It is a time capsule of the pandemic, especially of an artist using the constraints of that pandemic to make art.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to keep you anymore, Lindsey, but as always, an absolute pleasure just sitting here getting to chat with you about, in this case, a really enjoyable movie.
Oh my God, the time of my life. I loved every second.
Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.
Whether you like it or not.
Dum dum. Bye, Liz.
Bye.
All music for this podcast is provided by MKE. To hear more of his music, visit his band's website at detectivemusic.com and Detective on Spotify.